Find the derivative of the following. You have x to the negative 2 times e to the x cubed plus e. This is a function times a function. All right, x to the negative 2 multiplied to this parentheses. And what I don't want to do is distribute that out, because then I'm probably making myself more of a mess. Or maybe I'm not. I don't know. I'm going to leave this as is, because the goal of this section is to deal with product rule anyway, so I'm going to view this as product rule. The way I handle product rule is if you have a function times a function, I like to call it u times v, you take the derivative of the first function and multiply it to the second function as is. Then you add the derivative of the second function multiplied to the first function as is. So, following these steps, I would say that y prime is the derivative of the first function. So the derivative of the first function is me taking the derivative of x to the negative 2, which is just power rule. So you drop down the negative 2, subtract 1 from negative 2, and you have that. Okay. Now you keep the second function as is. So x cubed plus 3. Just like that. Then you add the derivative of the second function. Now I know what you're thinking. E to the x, that's not e to the x. That's e. You're treating e like a constant. So this is power rule. So you drop down the 3, you multiply it to the e that's there, and you subtract 1 from 3, making it x squared. Then you take the derivative of 3, which is nothing. So we'll leave that as that. Okay? Keep that multiplied to the derivative of, the regular function as is. And it gave it to us like that, so I wonder if this is something where if you saw this on a test, they'd leave it with the negative exponents. I don't feel right. I don't feel right doing it. So I'm just going to simplify it one last step. All right, I'm going to keep negative 2 upstairs, right? I'm going to move x cubed to the bottom, and I'm going to keep x cubed plus 3 in parentheses upstairs. I'm going to add, I'm going to keep that up top, 3ex squared in the numerator, move x to the negative 2 to the bottom, and I'm going to answer it that way because it looks a little bit nicer. I'm not going to bother trying to combine fractions because I don't want to. These are my videos and I'm sticking with that. So, I don't know. You might see this as an acceptable answer. That just looks a little bit better, so I'm sticking with that. Yeah, that's product rule for you. Fun stuff.